Your clean clothes are covered in black mold right now, not the clothes in your hamper, the ones you just washed, the ones hanging in your closet, the shirt pressed against your skin for 16 hours today, your children's pajamas that touch their faces all night long, the underwear sitting against your body since this morning. Every single fabric that passed through your washing machine came out coated in invisible fungal spores. A study published in Scientific Reports tested 50 washing machines and found fungi growing inside 82% of them. Not old machines in abandoned laundromats, regular household washers, the kind sitting in your basement right now. The rubber door seal was the most contaminated surface, colonized in over 37% of every machine tested. 17 different genera of mold were identified hiding inside those seals. Aspergillus, Cladosporium, Fusarium, Penicillium, and 13 others were breeding in the folds of that rubber gasket, and every single wash cycle pushes your clothes directly through that contamination. They did not stop making washers that grow mold because they could not fix it. They stopped because the mold keeps you buying. New machines, replacement gaskets, specialty cleaning tablets, overpriced descalers. A problem that costs you $1 to solve generates thousands in repeat revenue. And what generates repeat revenue can never be allowed to disappear. This is the story of the machine in your home that makes your clothes dirtier than before you washed them. Welcome to the Forbidden Home Science. If these investigations matter to you, subscribe and hit the bell. This is where we crack open what the industry sealed shut. Now let me show you something that will change how you think about every piece of fabric touching your family's skin. In 2012, doctors at a pediatric hospital ward in Germany noticed something terrifying. Newborn babies in the intensive care unit kept testing positive for a dangerous superbug called Klebsiella oxytoca. These were infants as young as 1 week old, born premature, already fighting to survive. The medical team checked every incubator in the ward and found nothing. They swabbed the hands of every nurse and doctor, tested every surface the babies touched, and found nothing. For an entire year, 13 newborns were colonized by this antibiotic-resistant pathogen, and nobody could find the source. Then researchers from the University of Bonn were called in to investigate. They traced the bacteria to something nobody had ever considered. A standard household washing machine sitting in the hospital basement. The Klebsiella oxytoca was found living in 2 places inside that washer, the detergent drawer and the rubber door seal. Tiny knitted socks and caps meant to keep premature babies warm were being washed in that machine. The bacteria survived the wash cycle, transferred onto the fabric, and then sat directly against the skin of newborns for hours. The moment that washing machine was removed from the hospital, the colonization stopped completely. Not a single new case appeared in the 4 years that followed. This was published in Applied and Environmental Microbiology in 2019. The study concluded that washing machines should be investigated as reservoirs for transmitting dangerous pathogens, and that the design of these machines actively promotes microbial growth. But here is what the appliance industry trade you would never connect. That same rubber seal design exists in every front-load washer sold in America. The same detergent drawer sits inside your machine right now. The same closed system that grew a superbug in a hospital is running in your laundry room. A second study published in Frontiers in Microbiology in 2025 confirmed the nightmare. Researchers found that front-load washing machines carry significantly higher bacterial loads than top loaders. The reason is engineering. Front loaders seal the door with a rubber gasket that traps residual water between every cycle. That water mixes with leftover detergent, fabric softener, lint, dead skin cells, and food particles from your dirty clothes. Inside those rubber folds, you get a dark, warm, wet environment filled with organic nutrients. It is a perfect incubator for mold and bacteria, and it sits hidden from sight behind the door seal you never think to check. Now, before we go further, I need you to understand something. This video barely scratches the surface of what is hiding inside the products in your home. I have spent months compiling everything the cleaning industry does not want you to know, all of it inside the complete Forbidden Home Science. The washing machine mold protocol that kills contamination for less than $2. The shower grout restoration method that removes black mold without bleach. The refrigerator coil cleaning trick that cuts your energy bill by up to 15%. The drain line flush that eliminates sewer. Gas, backing up into your bathroom. The dishwasher filter reset that stops plates from coming out with a greasy film. The dryer vent clearance technique that fire departments wish every homeowner knew. The garbage disposal deep clean that removes the biofilm you cannot see but can definitely smell. And much more. Over 10 guides in one vault, no filler, straight to what works. The link is in the description. But stay right here because what comes next will make you want to go check your washer immediately. Now let me explain the science of what is actually happening to your clothes. When mold colonizes the rubber door gasket of your washing machine, it does not just sit there. During every wash cycle, your clothes tumble past that gasket seal. The fabric physically contacts the contaminated rubber as it rotates inside the drum. Mold spores dislodge from the biofilm and become suspended in the wash water itself. Those spores attach to the fibers of your clothing and survive the entire cycle. Your clothes come out looking clean and smelling fresh, but they carry an invisible cargo of fungal spores embedded in the weave. When you put on that shirt, those spores press against your skin for 8 to 16 hours. When your children sleep in freshly washed pajamas, spores sit against their skin and they inhale them all night. Researchers confirm that fungi actively transfer from contaminated machines onto sterilized clothes during standard wash cycles. But it gets worse. Mold also produces something called microbial volatile organic compounds. These are invisible gases released by fungal colonies that cause headaches, nausea, and respiratory irritation. When you open your washing machine and smell that faint, musty odor, you are literally inhaling these toxic compounds. And most Americans just close the door and run another cycle, trapping the moisture inside again. The biofilm inside a single washing machine can contain up to 94 different microorganisms. Roughly a third of those have been classified as potential human pathogens. Pseudomonas aeruginosa, Klebsiella pneumonia, Staphylococcus aureus, and Enterococcus faecium have all been recovered from standard household washers. These are the same organisms that cause hospital-acquired infections, and they are living in the machine you use to wash your family's clothes. If you have made it this far, you already understand more about what is hiding inside your washing machine than 99% of homeowners. Subscribe and share this with anyone whose family is sleeping in sheets washed by a machine they have never inspected. Everything the appliance industry buried is inside the complete vault. Link in the description. Now stay with me because this next part should make you furious. So why does every washing machine in America grow mold by design? Why has no manufacturer solved a problem that a $2 bottle of vinegar fixes in 30 minutes? Because the global washing machine market generates over $60 billion per year. Replacement gaskets cost $200 to $400. Professional cleaning runs, $100 to $200. And specialty washer tablets sell for $15 to $20 a box. A brand new front load washer costs between $800 and $2,500. The entire business model depends on machines that deteriorate and on consumers who do not know any better. You cannot patent white vinegar, you cannot trademark baking soda, and you cannot generate subscription revenue from a solution that costs less than a cup of coffee. And what cannot generate recurring profit cannot be allowed to become common knowledge. The appliance industry does not sell you clean clothes. They sell you the belief that only their machine and their products can deliver clean clothes. Meanwhile, the detergent industry generates over $77 billion a year globally. The engineered fabric softeners and scented boosters that leave chemical residue inside your washer. That residue feeds the very mold colonies that ruin your clothes and make you sick. Then they sell you specialized washer cleaning products to fix the problem their own detergent caused. It is a closed loop of manufactured dependency, and the consumer sitting at the center of it never questions why their clean laundry smells like mildew. Here is what should make your blood boil. Consumer Reports surveyed 67,000 washing machine owners and found that even consumers follow every maintenance recommendation from the manufacturer. The mold frequently returns. The manufacturers know this. They designed a machine with a sealed rubber gasket that traps water in its folds after every single cycle. They chose materials and geometry that create the perfect breeding ground for fungi. Then they printed a tiny warning in the manual that says, "Leave the door open after each wash." As if leaving a door open should be the engineering solution to a fundamental design flaw in a machine that costs $2,000. They could redesign the gasket with antimicrobial rubber, add a drying fan cycle, or angle the drain path so water never pools in the seal. But every one of those solutions would reduce the need for replacement parts, cleaning products, and new machines. And what reduces replacement revenue is a threat to the business model itself. Now here's what you actually need to do. But first, think about these symptoms. Does your laundry ever smell musty or sour even right after washing? Do you get unexplained skin irritation, redness, or itching that comes and goes? Do your allergies seem worse at home than anywhere else? Does your nose feel congested when you wake up in the morning after sleeping on freshly washed sheets? Most Americans blame the weather, blame their skin, blame their detergent brand. Nobody blames the machine because nobody has ever looked inside the gasket. Once you see what is in there, every one of those symptoms will suddenly make sense. This costs less than $2 total and takes about 45 minutes. Step 1 is the gasket reveal. Open the door of your front load washer and put on rubber gloves. Pull back the rubber door seal with your fingers, folding it away from the drum. Look inside the folds. What you will find is black mold, slime, compacted lint, biofilm, and possibly lost socks or coins trapped in there for months. Spray undiluted white vinegar generously into every fold of that gasket. Let it sit for 30 minutes and scrub every inch of that rubber seal with an old toothbrush and wipe everything clean with a microfiber cloth. The transformation will shock you. Step 2 is the detergent drawer pull. Grab the detergent drawer and pull it completely out of the machine. Most drawers have a release tab you press to remove them entirely. Flip it over and look at the underside and the compartment walls. You will see mold in the fabric softener compartment, biofilm on the detergent side, and pink or black slime in every corner. Wash the entire drawer with hot water, dish soap, and a scrub brush. Then reach inside the slot where the drawer sits because mold grows in there too. Spray vinegar into that cavity and scrub it clean. Step 3 is the drain pump filter, and this is the one nobody ever checks. Look at the bottom front of your washer for a small access panel or door. Place a towel and a shallow pan underneath before you open it. Twist the filter cap counterclockwise and pull it out slowly. Water will pour out and it will smell terrible. The filter itself will be covered in compacted lint, hair, slime, and mold. You might find coins, bobby pins, or small items trapped in there that have been rotting for years. Clean the filter completely, reach inside the housing and wipe out any residue, then reinstall the filter and close the panel. Now, run the killing cycle. With the drum completely empty, pour 2 cups of white vinegar directly into the drum. Select the hottest water setting and the longest wash cycle your machine offers and let it run completely. When it finishes, sprinkle half a cup of baking soda into the drum. Run another hot cycle at maximum length. When that second cycle ends, open the door and leave it open. Your drum will be visibly cleaner, the gasket will be fresh, and that musty smell will be gone. Total cost of materials is about $1 for the vinegar and $1 for the baking soda, $2 versus $2,500 for a new machine versus $400 for a gasket replacement versus $200 for a professional cleaning. I need to be honest with you about one thing. If your gasket has deep black staining that does not come off with vinegar and scrubbing, the mold has penetrated into the rubber itself. In that case, the gasket may need replacing, but if you do this cleaning once a month, you will never reach that point. Prevention costs $2 and 10 minutes of maintenance every 30 days. Neglect costs thousands. Do this today. Go to your washing machine right now, pull back that rubber seal, and look inside the folds. What you find will disturb you. But what should disturb you more is that you have been dressing your family in clothes that pass through that contamination every single day. This knowledge did not disappear by accident. It was buried under $60 billion of marketing that convinced you the machine handles everything. It was hidden behind specialty products designed to solve a problem that white vinegar solved a century ago. If this video opened your eyes, subscribe and share it with every parent you know. Every share exposes what the appliance industry spent decades concealing. The next vault opens soon, and what is inside will change how you look at the dirtiest appliance in your kitchen.